Hello, my name is Dawn H. Jones. I am Managing Director of Hope Place HR, and our mission is to help you become HR wise. Now, in last week's video, how to organise your HR case file, I promised that I would post a video this week specifically on how to write a timeline. But before I do that, would you do me a favour and click on the link below this video and subscribe to this channel so you can receive regular quality content. And thank you so much in advance for you doing so. So back to the subject at hand this week, and that is how to write a timeline. So years ago, one of my former managers taught me how to write a timeline. And the backstory to this was I'd been advising a manager on a complex disciplinary case, and I was having difficulty getting to grips with all of the issues. And when I told my manager about this, she suggested that I write a timeline. So she grabbed a bit of paper and she drew 2 columns on a page. And in the first column, she wrote date, and in the second column, she wrote event. And then she told me to write down all of the events in chronological order. And this, I confess, took a bit of time because I worked for a particularly detail-oriented manager. But I'm thankful that I took her advice. So the mission was to detail each event, no matter how seemingly insignificant, onto this timeline. So map all of the events onto the timeline. Now, I can't remember specifically what I wrote on my timeline. However, examples of what you would expect to see on a timeline would be date of the incident, date the investigating manager was appointed, date the HR advisor was appointed, date you received witness statements, even date of suspension if that's relevant. Now, I've put an example on the screen so you can see. So the point is that you populate your timeline so you can build up a picture of all the events to date. Now, back to my backstory. As I began to populate my timeline, I slowly began to clarify what the alleged incident was all about and also the events that led up to that incident. And an additional bonus to me taking the time in writing the timeline and populating the events and getting clarity on what happened was I was able to advise the manager with more confidence, and the manager was also able to use that timeline to outline the draft of her investigation report. Now, that's the story behind how I started using timelines. But beyond that, I have expanded the use of my timelines to include a third column, and that is documents or documentation. So you would still write the date and the events, but in the documents column, you would cross-reference any documents that relate to that particular event. That said, I found that I tend to err back or go back to just using 2 columns, which is dates and event, because that is it simplifies things for me, but it's purely a matter of preference. And if you find that it's more useful for you to add in a documents or documentation column, please feel free to do so. Now, beyond this, you can also use timelines for other things, such as if you're an employee, if you're an employee rather, and you are subject to a HR process, be it disciplinary, grievance or sickness absence, a timeline will help you to familiarise yourself with your case. And if you're a manager reviewing a complaint or an adverse incident, for example, a timeline will help you to get to grips with all the issues reasonably quickly. But no matter the context you use the timelines in, timelines provide you with clarity, which gives you confidence about the steps that you need to take going forward. Now, that's how to write a timeline. They are a simple but powerful tool. Please utilize them when you're using processes because they really are an aid to you. Now, if you'd like help in writing the timeline or getting advice about an issue or a HR case, please schedule a call. Our details are on the screen. So remember, utilize timelines. They are a powerful tool. They will help, they will assist, and they will support you. And until next time, remember, be HR wise. Bye-bye.